But let's go through this. Let's start with the main event, James. Let's take it from the top down, man.
All right. Yeah, sure.
So Samoa Joe versus MJF for the AEW World Title. We got a new AEW champion. Like I've kind of said on this show, this is where this was headed. The second that he laid that belt on the ground and said, "I don't want that ROH TV title. No one's pinning me. I'm being kept strong. I'm also wrestling this man again, who I just lost to a few months ago." I felt like the way we watch wrestling, you should be able to like see the alarm going off. Like that. This is what we were talking about here. Joe's a champion, and this comes at the end of kind of a renaissance year for Samoa Joe. When I think about it, he started in January with that match with Darby, and he's pretty much been awesome the whole year. I would have never thought Samoa Joe would be somebody that would ever win the AEW title. It just didn't seem like it was in the cards for him. But I think you got to keep this stuff in mind. He's delivered, like, when he showed up, for Ring of Honor. He's taken a long time to get healthy. He's great against all the smaller guys.
Yep.
He dealt with CM Punk shit all summer.
Yep.
Like, and worked him and, to, positive results. Wrestled him at Wembley Stadium. I would imagine there's some kind of reward aspect coming into play here. Reliable, not going to embarrass you, can talk, a veteran, has value in putting people over. When I first kind of was privy to this, it's not like Samoa Joe is going to make you excited or anything, right? Like it's not the sexiest pick or anything like that, but it's about as reliable as a pick I think you can take in the promotion, despite him being 44 years old. And you never, he is a car with high mileage, right? But if you don't ask him to drive far, I think this might be a pretty fun. Very encouraged by the stuff he was talking in the press conference, talking about you're gonna do all the shit in the ring. People can come and get. He was talking that shit. He was calling out Swerve. He was calling out Hangman. And I'm very excited to exit the MJF era. Like, and I think this is like Joe, like he's been, I was worried about Samoa Joe coming in because he was injured all the time.
In WWE.
He was just a commentator, just cycled down, and then like he just kind of kept chugging along, kind of.
And they definitely missed their window with him in 2017 when he was hot as fish grease.
Yeah. So like this could be like a career defining thing to make us reassess Samoa Joe. Even in a Hall of Fame sense, like let's see, like what he kind of does. Like, and this is like, all right, we know he was in TNA years ago. He was in NXT. There's a chance like that we look back on this thing and be like, yo, this is like with the talent that's available for him to work with. This can be really exciting, I think.
I'm open to it because I've always liked Joe. He's one of those guys like him and AJ Styles where people are like, I miss them from the TNA stuff, whatever else, and Ring of Honor stuff, and like their legend kind of preceded them in New Japan or TNA. So like once I finally saw them, I immediately understood why people spoke of them so highly, and I was like, I get everything you guys said was not an exaggeration. I see why why people talk so highly of them. And for me, with Joe, I would have wanted him in 2017, but they didn't do that. And I kind of thought like as a, I think I was more like convinced you when they signed him, like, hey man, he can still go at a certain level and he ain't got to wrestle at a main event level. So I think it's going to be fun. And I think he proved that over time. And I don't know if I think you would agree with that at this point now. Yeah. So for me, I'm okay with it from the perspective of I don't think it's going to be long. I think he's a transitional champion, or he's going to be a transitional champion, and whatever they come up with for mile or things to mark this this particular run with him, however long or short it is just whatever positive you get out of it is just icing on the cake to you get whoever you really want to get it to. But I think there's also this thing where because I like him and because of how much I didn't like where we were with the title, people are more relieved than happy. If you really be honest about it.
Yeah, I saw this thing,
and
I
like
was
if
like,
this was a successful title reign, I don't think people would be screaming for, not screaming, but like
because
would be like,
it has
yeah, we're so
the,
happy this is on 40-something-year-old Samoa Joe with all his injury problems. When it's like, especially when like Daniel Bryan or like Bryan Danielson is turning down every championship under the sun when he's still might be the best fucking wrestler in the world right now. So yeah,
this has all the elements of things that we should not like. He's old as hell. He beat a young wrestler. He was in WWE previously. There's just a lot of elements that's like this shouldn't go right now. Quote unquote past his prime. You know,
he is past his prime. He's still good. He still has a high floor, but like his ceiling is not as high as like the best wrestler in the world. It's not.
Yeah, Brewhead. I'm not saying Joe is a WWE guy, but he spent like a significant portion there, and he was directly from WWE when
from 2016 to 2021. He was there for over half a decade.
So, it's gonna be interesting. Like there are a lot of things to look out for. Like who knows what this guy's held together by right now. But like I said, you ain't making him drive far. He'll be all right.
Samoa Joe's a WWE guy longer than LeBron was the Miami Heat.
Wow.
Like, bro, do you ever think about that? Like, LeBron's been a Laker longer, he's been a Heat. That seems unimaginable to me sometimes. I know it, but I'm like, it don't sound right. Maybe it's because it's the prime thing, but yeah.
I know.
Here you go.
Pretty soon they're gonna be trying to retire multiple jerseys for him and shit, and put.
That's already in the offing. That's already been happening. That's already been.
I'm gonna have to fly to LA already. I'm gonna have to fly to LA and make my wishes known. But yeah, the way time works, as far as like how shit happens in the modern day, like you just don't even think about it, like how long somebody was in WWE in the last decade, because it's like it doesn't feel like it, but then it's like you look up and it's like, hold on, what the fuck? So
bro, AJ's been like, I saw something like AJ's been in WWE longer than like The Rock was.
Yeah.
Before he went, I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So as far as the match, I thought Joe was great in this match. He came out, he had like all the confidence in the world, somebody knowing they about to win this world belt. Like, and I thought he was doing like the German suplexes. He was chopping this guy, just taking him out on an apron, just fucking him up. Like, and it was just like,
the muscle buster on the apron was nasty.
I was like, I love this. Like, this was like, yeah, like I thought this was, this was just a real.
You want MJ to die for his sins?
This was like an execution.
No. Answer the question. You want MJ to die for his sins?
He had to feel it because I was tired of it. I was waiting on this day. Like, bro, there was people. I was in the Voice of Wrestling AEW chat at the time.
Okay.
And a lot of people were convinced it was he's hulking up. MJF's gonna win. They were sending out the Hulk Hogan gifts. I sent out a Hulk Hogan gift as well, but I sent out the Yokozuna dropping the leg on Hulk Hogan, like, and nobody really understood. But I was like, "You wait," and then it was just kind of Adam Cole rifling around with the ring, taking a little bit too long. Joe pops him in the fucking choke. That arm drops 3 times, and the building is like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, yes, like, so, and I thought Joe had all the the carry yourself like a champion, just the exciting offense for me. Like, I thought it was great offense. It wasn't just like chops and in the corner and just the regular Samoa Joe. I felt like he kind of like did some like different shit in the match. But I thought MJF like was pretty good too, like in certain portions. I popped for that F5 that he did. And that was
cool.
But, overall, like, I didn't think the match was great or anything, but I thought it was like, it was solid or whatever. But, what did you think about the match, James?
maybe it's just knowing how beat up he was, or whatever else. It just felt like, and also, you had some inside information, or else I kind of went into that, and that may have tainted that, or probably did taint my expectation for the match. But like I talked to you and Josh about it after I finally watched it yesterday, and like my impression of when I watched is like, yeah, he beat the hell out of him, and then he went for his go-to move, the fucking ring, and he couldn't get the ring, and he ended up getting choked out, right?
Tried to cheat, it ain't work.
Right. No, he tried to cheat last time.
Look,
right?
No simpy.
Right. So, like for me, it was a match, but like you and Josh Smith from Keeping It Strong Style were like saying like he just felt like, or Joe had this aura of badasses, and I think Josh like said it reminded him a bit of like Lesnar hoeing Cena at SummerSlam 2014. I didn't get that vibe, but for me it was like I like that match more because like the match isn't like a guy has a bad arm, or Brock Lesnar doesn't like work on Cena's bad arm over and over and over, and then at the end chokes him out. So like it's just like, what was the point of all this shit? He's gonna choke him out. You could do that shit minutes ago, motherfucker. But yeah, like it was needed, regardless of like whether I think he's a transitional champion or actually somebody going to turn into like or treat as if he's like Heyman or anything. That's a different thing. Like it was needed, this title change to happen, and Joe's more than capable of being present himself as a champion. In he's gonna dress up in the suit. He's gonna talk big shit. He's gonna have that voice. He's gonna look how he looks, and he's gonna wrestle how he wrestle, and that's more than good enough to be a champion level wrestler in major American professional wrestling in our lifetime. So he's gonna make it work. Because he Samoa Joe, we've seen that dude's work over the years, and he's always been good as hell. So, regardless of whatever else, I'm just interested of the status quo change up. We're past this festival of friendship ass shit. We're past this,
the devil
reign of terror ass shit. Like the devil stuff is out now. That's gonna suck, but that's gonna be away from the title. So whatever. It's not the main event stuff anymore. So yeah, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So I do have, as custom, the AEW or the championship eulogy for MJF.
Oh boy,
this one is by far the longest eulogy I've ever written because it was the longest title reign that anyone's ever had.
Is it most negative?
I'll let you tell it. Like, I don't know if it's negative per se, but I kept it a buck. So like, I don't think I attacked the man. I just kind of held the mirror up. As they say. So, here is MJF's championship eulogy. MJF was the sixth man to be AEW World Champion. After 406 days, he dropped the championship to Samoa Joe in his hometown of Long Island, New York, ending perhaps the most Jekyll and Hyde championship reign of all time. From the moment he won the title from Jon Moxley with fans dying to cheer him, he was engulfed in the bizarre exit of William Regal from AEW, where he struggled with an identity crisis of the wrestler he wanted to win the title as, at last using the diamond ring to do it. He was a man cast in a strange role, and many of his performances reflected that, often ending his matches with the feeling of someone not really being beaten, whether he was a face or a heel. His first promo as the champion was filled with half brilliance and halfway with weirdness. He promised a reign of terror, and for some, it was. Many fans reviled in horror at some of the stylistic and storytelling devices that seeped into his segments that flew in the face of the ethos of the promotion, with no greater dividing line than the hallowed grounds of the main event of AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. He was the first champion in AEW history to flip alignments during the reign, which giving him a unique distinction and allowed him to run the days up on what became the longest world title run in company history. He was also the youngest AEW world champion at 26 years old at the time of his win. MJF's best moments of his run came unquestionably when the bell rang. Bouts against Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega proved his elite level in-ring chops as he transitioned into becoming a more regular in-ring presence for the first time in his 5-year run with AEW. With that increased activity, however, came more chances to experiment with his presentation. Landing on a summer with Adam Cole to form the duo the Brochachos, he became an ROH tag champion and radically changed his in-ring approach, further polarizing him. His original rise as a main eventer came with a promo in June 2022 in Los Angeles as a heel, where he performed a work shoot on the promotion and Tony Khan. AEW has never been the same since that promo. MJF was always propped up by a certain section of people who felt he represented an anti-AEW approach, and he activated those people to engage with the company at a greater rate. Suddenly, MJF found himself the face of a brand that was experiencing more negativity than at any point, but often MJF found himself free of judgment from various publications. Wonder how that worked. The pushback for MJF came from AEW's most loyal fan base, who outright rejected his devil storyline, the Brochachos, and WWE-like feel, which had increased to insane levels by the end of his run, peaking at Full Gear against Jay White. MJF, who's very aware of his critics, often went on the offensive in press conferences and Twitter, bragging about his flavor of ice cream, and was arrogant at points about it, and then would turn around and be apologetic the next. He was clearly a conflicted champion who seemed to be reverting to what some people feel his influences are when the heat began to rise and calls for others to win the championship and restore the feeling got louder. Hanging over this whole reign is still the unresolved War of 2024, which has come and gone throughout this run. Going forward, Adam Cole and the Devil unit await him, and a chance to face a wider range of opponents without worrying if they are seen as championship-level contenders.
So did you ever find out what that particular brand of ice cream was? I think I have an idea.
Fed, derogatory.
Oh, I was going to say ass. But fair enough. Yeah, man. It's over. If he gets another shot, can't do this shit again.
I think I try to be as fair as possible to him. I think there's another version of that is a lot harder on him.
Buddy. I mean, compare. How do I say this? The lowest of lows of any AEW title reign. On screen. You know, someone would be like, what about how do I brawl out? Right? The lowest of lows of any on-screen title reign we've ever had in AEW. Unquestionably. And like the highest of highs not near as high as all but one person's highs. So yeah. Rest in piss. May it burn it. May it burn forever. If he gets another shot, there's no way he'll be this bad again. It would be unfair. How do I say this? If he's ever nearly as bad as this again with the second title reign, fire him immediately for cause. I know you can't fire someone for cause for putting on bad TV. I know you can't. I know it's not possible. But I'm saying that for emphasis for how bad this was. So yeah. He'll get another shot eventually down the line. Same for Hangman. I don't have concerns for Hangman. I have concerns for MJF. He can't do this shit again.
Yeah.
He can't be this. He has to knock it out of the park next time. Otherwise, what I don't know. Whatever. And you know that promo he did, or not promo. Well, it was a promo. See, they basically cut his screen time because it kind of classic like that player streaming thing he did because Tony Khan said we're not giving you no more TV time. You got to go. We got to send you the fuck away. We're about to take the title off of you. So you ain't gonna give you no more screen time. You fucked up enough for our TV in the last half of the year. When he says like, let's be real, like I'm not 5'11", I'm 4'8", whatever else, and that kind of stuff. It's
not
like
4'8", 5'8".
I fucked it up. I look, man, I didn't mean to say 4'8". Obviously, 4'8". That's 4'8". Like
nigga 4'8" out there.
That's short. Like that's shorter than the fucking Ram Kaicho and Sakushi and shit. But no, like, and he said like I'm really 5'8" or whatever else. It's like, yeah, bro, we know. That's the thing about you.
I can see him. Them
like,
is lifts, bro.
That is like, bro, I know. That's the thing about you. Everything about you is so fucking phony. And that's a part of your charm as a heel, but you're a babyface now. Get rid of it.
God damn it. Dr. Larry, we talking John Gresham?
All right, let's move on. Let's
Four
move
foot
on.
eight.
We can't beat that one. Let's move on.
Oh,
John Gresham, right? That's ridiculous. All right, John Gresham go pull up on you looking like a goddamn cage Wolverine. You ain't gonna appreciate being called 4'8". What you mean for it? I'm 5'2". Fuck you, man.
you know what I thought of? I thought of Eddie Murphy in Delirious when he talking about the white man that seen Rocky. He's like, "Hey man, I'm 5'2". You know, I'm like, you ain't gonna disrespect me. But yeah, as far as MJF goes, holla.
Yeah. Get well soon, get healthy and all that stuff. Come back and don't come to the title for like 2 years.
Don't ever do this shit again. Like,
yeah, can't do that. Like in like the whole, taking off the roster page, whatever else, and the 2024 shit. Cut the shit. We already know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, stop the cap. End the cap immediately.
Yeah, no one's buying it. All right, can we get to the devil and the devil's goons?
Yes, I forgot about these guys.